Hi guys, it's Stephanie here in freezing South Carolina in the middle of June. It was like in the 50s today, so I don't know what's happening. I'm going to read our daily Disney devotion, and I'm glad you're here with me. Today we're going to read number 29, The Enchanted Tiki Room, which I think I've seen once in my life, and that was enough. I don't need to see it again. So now it's time for our last Adventureland attraction. It's one that you'll have to look up throughout the entire show to see. Today we're headed to the Enchanted Tiki Room. This is definitely more of a show instead of a ride, and it's characterized by dozens of audio animatronic birds talking and singing. This is an attraction that I enjoy, but I wouldn't be sad if I missed every other trip. I would be sad, however, if it disappeared because, once again, it is classic Disney and I like to catch it on occasion. This is also an attraction that's been around for a while. When the Magic Kingdom opened in 1971, this attraction was present, although it was called Tropical Serenade. The format of the show was virtually the same as it is today. From 1998 until 2011, the show was renamed the Enchanted Tiki Room under new management and featured Igo and Zazu from Aladdin and The Lion King, respectively. Who is Igo? I don't know who that is. On January 12th, 2011, a fire broke out in the attic of this attraction, and the Igo bird, was severely damaged in the blaze. This caused Disney to return the show to its original format where it remains today. Many might have been secretly happy about the fire, as they found this bird and Zazu edition to be far too of a stray from the original quality of the show. Many also found the two new birds annoying and unnecessary. A very interesting fact about this attraction is that it was the first ever in Disneyland to use audio animatronics to entertain dining guests, but the birds, I've missed an entire line, which has now become a staple of many beloved attractions. The Disneyland version was originally going to be a restaurant with birds entertaining the dining guests, but this idea was scrapped. However, this is why the version there in California is the only attraction to have its own bathroom. The actor who supplied the voice for Lumiere in Beauty and the Beast is also the voice for one of the main speaking birds in the show, which is known as Pierre, the French parrot. So what is the theme of this attraction? That's pretty easy. Birds. Lots and lots of birds. What about birds in the Bible? Can you think of a time when birds are mentioned in Scripture? Because there are several. I immediately think of Noah's Ark and him sending out the birds to see if the flood has subsided. I also think of the ravens feeding Elijah during the drought. For today, however, there is a very important passage featuring birds that I personally have used many times during my life, and I would like to focus on that. Look at Matthew 6, 25 through 34. This is Jesus talking during a very important Sermon on the Mount. This particular portion talks about worry. Jesus asked the people why they worry. Then he asked them to think about the birds of all creatures. He mentions how birds don't reap or sow. They don't work hard for their food. However, they are always taken care of. There is always a worm, a bug, or another scrap for the birds to find to feed themselves and their young. Jesus points out that if God takes care of the birds, surely he will take care of us, his chosen people. I love this passage because, as mentioned, I have read and used it many times. I think worry is a common weakness among humans in general. I know it is for me. I tend to think about all life's struggles and problems and worry about what will happen. Jesus instructs us not to do that because God will take care of us. Peter reminds us in 1 Peter 5:7 to cast your anxieties upon him because he cares for you. It's human nature to worry. I think God knows that we will worry, but it's when we let this worry consume us and affect us that it becomes a problem. We have to be disciplined and know when to cast our cares upon him and let him take control. Next time you watch those birds at the tiki room, think about how God cares for all his creatures, including the birds as well as you and me. We don't really have to worry. All that really matters is where we are headed when eternity comes. Everything else that happens in the meantime is minor compared to our future with God. So join me in letting God take control of our lives. It is only then that we can all let our worries fly out the window and we can be just like the birds. This is a good lesson, and you know what? I used to really struggle with worry and anxiety and things like that. And then one year I participated in a Bible study at someone's home called Respectable Sins. And I don't remember who wrote this Bible study or anything, but this is what I learned. There are so many sins that we think that we commit every day, and we just think of them as everyday. We think of them as respectable sins, and worry is one of them, because God tells us many times in Scripture, do not worry, do not fear. And so when we do worry, it's ungodly. We're being disobedient to God. It is a sin to worry. So I have learned this trick, and this really helps me. So I hope it helps somebody that watches this. I ask myself, when I start to worry, I ask myself, do I believe that my God is big enough to handle this situation? And if my answer is yes, then it is so much easier for me to give it to him and not to worry about it. Because what is my worry going to do? Is it going to accomplish anything? No. So if I acknowledge the fact that God can handle this, then it's so much easier for me to let him handle it and me not worry about it. And I hope that helps somebody, because I think that we all worry. It's something every single person struggles with, or, Okay, bye guys. Good to talk to y'all. See you tomorrow.